What's going on, guys? It's the Canadian Landscaper coming at you today. And today I'm going to answer a question that some of you may have, and that is, why do I have two shops? Well, here's the deal. Forever and 10 days ago, when I started this business, I had a shop out at this same complex. It was a smaller one. But I was smaller then. I just kept a few mowers in there, a couple things, no big deal. My dad was working as a technician at another shop where he could work after hours on my stuff. Anyways, fast forward a few years, things change. He changed jobs. I got bigger. I went into a couple of the bigger shops out here. Ended up with, when he built these new ones, ended up in these new ones, which I think are 25 by 30. And Dad wanted to do some work on the side. I needed a shop. And I continued to grow. So Dad does some work out here. Like I say, he's a licensed technician. He doesn't do it as a profession anymore. He's off to another job. But we like to toy on mechanic stuff out here. It creates some good father-son time for the two of us. And the deal is what I pay for this shop a month is pretty reasonable. The downfall is that there's no outside storage allowed. So as you can see, I would need 10 shops to store all my crap, which would be nice because it'd all be inside, but financially unfeasible. So just recently I moved to that yard that you guys seen briefly in the 2020 setup, and I do share that yard with another landscaper in this town. We get along well. I don't foresee there being any problems, and I could have packed up my end of this shop and stored it all in there. It would have been tight because I only have half the shop. But the thing is, it's not heated. It doesn't have a high power grid. I couldn't put the hoist in there and all my equipment. So what I wanted was, this is just slightly out of town. I wanted a spot that I could put all my stuff, repair my stuff. And, but I want a spot in town where everything can be. I've got a yard. It's feasible. So the reason that I kept this shop was that basically the arrangement that me and my dad have is a simple one, where both sides benefit. But he gets a shop that he can do side work in, and he doesn't pay $1 in anything, and I take care of the entire shop expenses, but he helps me fix all of this stuff. And this is an 02 truck, guys. It's gonna have problems. So here in Canada, or Ontario, Canada, I guess, we got to do yearly safeties. So in the fall, when I put this on the road, I never yellow stickered this truck, which you should not do. It's against the law, but I'm going to admit it here on camera, which is bad. But we went through the list, and because Dad knows everything that they're going to look for in a safety, we can't do them out here, but we can do all of the work to send them in. So once we do all the work, we send them in. They check over it themselves. So I do have a regular shop that I use as an outside source to check in all this stuff. So here today, my 2x4 safety bar, just in case that decides to go crashing. I had to put in a muffler to pass safety, and it needs a horn. And it's got a running problem, which is actually why it's in here. But other than that, this truck's a great old truck. I've been growing to use this thing quite a bit lately, with the dump bed. And these sides, they're all painted up. I don't know if I did a video on this or not, but I'm so thrilled. I got a dump trailer, and although this beam picks up slower, it's a convenient truck to have, because when you go to the landfill, you can get out on dry land and open up the doors. And then you can back in the mud hole and just hit the dump button, and it's off and it's out. And then you can lower it back down, move into the dry areas, close the doors. You're not getting in and out. You're not getting sloppy. You're not backing up a trailer. It's less sets of tires to be running in and out of a dump when there's nails and possibilities. However, they are these 4 tires when I had to put them in last year were not cheap. So yeah, this is why I've got the 2 shops, because I'm mechanically inclined. My dad's a licensed mechanic. So it's feasible for us to do this. Now, if it's not feasible, if you're not mechanically inclined, then I wouldn't say that having, a second shop full of tools and that is worth it. But like we also have the snow removal end of the business. So in the middle of the night, something breaks. It's nice, even though it is a few minutes out of town, we can, quick bring it out here, which isn't too far, or have it towed out here, and we can usually, bandage it back up together for the night and fix it completely the next day. Sometimes that's not always the case. But, even yesterday I had a chain blow out on that, and I was just using that around a family member's property. We're not supposed to be working during this COVID-19. I have literally talked to everybody minus the police department at this point. I've tried to kind of go above the police department and talk to a few other people, our local MP, this and that, about, are we just going to let the grass grow 3 feet tall? And, I'm trying, right? I don't think it's working. I'm hoping that, my next step here is that I got to get in touch with, I'm going to try and get a band of us landscapers here together in town, and as a group unite and go in as a front. And that, I'm friendly with at least 10 to 15 of the landscapers in this area, and I think that's a good way to be. And I'm going to try and pull that card for all of us to unite and get together and try and do something about, just being able to cut the grass, right? I don't care about landscaping or rolling or aerating or all this and other namby-tamby stuff, but I want to be able to cut grass. Back to the point, that's just a quick COVID update from my area in Ontario. But, even my big enclosed trailer, just barely, but, I put it in this shop and we painted it over the winter. It's nice. We've got the heat up here. The shelves over there, admittedly, have become a bit of a catch-all for scrap. Like, I've got sets of tires. Got like 2 sets of tires for the last van, a few extra trailer tires. Dad's got some of his tires up there. We could condense this shop a little bit. It hasn't been real nice yet this year, so we haven't gone around to do a huge spring cleaning. But anyways, this is why I have 2 shops. I've already ran the numbers. It is more economical for me to do it this way. I guess I don't get to spend as much time at home. But, a lot of landscapers might realize that you get a lot of rain days, you get a lot of stuff. So I try to make a point out of, those days, or I'll come out here early in the morning and I'll do something quick. I'll do an oil change in a truck or something like that. And, I don't really lose a lot of family time doing this stuff myself unless we get into an extensive job. Like, we built this truck from the ground up, basically. It was a wreck. Like, not literally a wreck, but it was a rotten out wreck. And we rebuilt the whole thing, and it was a lot of work. I had a buddy of mine paint it, which it's not perfect, but I didn't want it to be. I didn't pay for it to be perfect. So yeah, guys, that's what we're doing. This is why we have 2 shops. That's a simple video for you today, guys. Next up, I think I'm going to do an initial review on Green Touch trimmer racks. Have a great one.